Welcome back to another Firebird matchup. As tonight we begin the GMC season with the Lakota West Firebirds taking on the St. X Bombers. And let me tell you, I'm here with our color commentary, Andrew Odell, and it is quite a hot one. I'm sure he can attest to that. But Andrew, what do you think are the keys to this game for either side to get the win?
Well, obviously, you're looking at a huge matchup tonight. Two of the top teams here in the Cincinnati area of Ohio. You got the St. Xavier Bombers with their great rushing attack, their running back duo of Daniel Vollmer and Jake Britt, two guys that had an amazing years last season and are looking to go have another great year this year. But you look at Lakota West side, on their defensive side of the ball, they got some crazy linebackers there. Those three guys, Grant Bierman, Cam Thomas, and Micah Markley, are leading the way for the Firebirds, and it's going to be a really fun matchup all night to see who can win that battle.
Yeah, that's an incredible battle. I mean, our linebackers are incredibly stacked, but when you look at their running backs, both average over 4 yards per carry with over 750 yards. But if you look at specifically at Jake Britt, on just 156 carries, had 769 yards, 4 TDs, and then Vollmer as well. Like you said, 765 yards, only 121 attempts, and that's 6.3 yards per carry. On that amount of volume, that is truly incredible. But I also want to mention the quarterback's situation on both sides. Both are pretty solid guys, get the job done for their team, but I think it's really going to be the X factor because both teams have a strong rush attack, obviously with Braden Johnson having a pretty solid season last year, hoping to see more from him this year. But, yeah, I think the quarterbacks are definitely going to be a big X factor for this team, for both teams, Sam Wiles and Chase Herbstreit.
Yeah, well, when you look at the year that Sam Wiles had last year, you know, he did all he needed to do to get this team to the spot they wanted to be in. He didn't do too much. You know, he stayed on the ground a lot, and I feel like he's going to do that a lot of that tonight. He's going to be involved a lot in the run game. It's what West likes to run with the running backs Braden Johnson, Kenyon Norman, and then Sam Wiles also running the ball. That's a great offensive scheme, but also look for the wide receivers of West. They haven't played much in past years, and it's really a big moment for them tonight. See if they can make a huge impact with a senior like Brendan Remy, who was so good last year, departing, and you want to know how these guys come in and take on the role.
It's definitely that next guy up idea because you had Brendan Remy last year. With the loss of him, it's definitely going to be difficult losing him. But we're going to have to see some guys like Trey Barnett, Reese Mason, all those guys step up and take the helm from him. And then as we see Lakota West coming out on the field, and like you mentioned, that rushing tandem between Sam Wiles and Braden Johnson, I mean, the stats don't lie. 1,100 total combined yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4.6 yards per carry between them. Both made all GMC. I mean, that's incredible. But yeah, for this team, it's really going to come down, I think, to these X factors: the quarterback, like you said, receivers. But I just want to real quick look at the football schedule for this team throughout the season. Obviously, we have St. X here tonight, Hamilton next week, and then Princeton. And I think that's an incredibly difficult stretch. Those are some of the best teams in the GMC and this area of the country, of the state. And that's definitely going to be a hard stretch. But if they can come out of that 3-0, they're going to have a pretty easy for the rest of the year, hopefully taking the GMC title.
Yeah, I really think this first 3-game stretch is going to be a huge test for these Firebirds. I'm excited to see what they can do in these first 3 games. Really good matchups all across the board. You know, going on the road to play Princeton, it's never going to be easy against the Vikings. And, you know, even playing East, it's a rivalry matchup. Anything could happen, and it's a late season game. And, you know, you don't know with East, you know, coming in this year, they have a guy at quarterback who could be pretty good in Jameson Kitna.
Yeah, and St. X did win the toss, so West will defer. And it looks like they're coming out here right now. Real quick, we can check out the player captains for this year. We have, for the captains, it's Luca Gilbert, Grant Bierman, and Micah Markley. Those are going to be these guys that are going to lead this offense and defense and be the leaders for this team.
Well, yeah, you look at Luca Gilbert, a guy who's looking to make a bigger impact this year for the offense. He had a great year last year. Didn't do much in the passing game, or in the receiving game, but had a lot of great blocking moments, and that's really the main focal point of him is to get him out blocking for those running backs to get out in space, and that's how the Firebirds, they like to run their offense with the yards after the catch.
All right, and we will see St. X kick this ball off, and it's going to start with Trent Maxim, I believe. He should be the starting kicker for this team. And looking downfield, got a couple of guys out there returning. But we'll see how this first play goes, because I heard you mentioning it pregame that where you start on that field can usually tell how that drive is going to go.
Yep, and it looks like West has Kamani Smith out to receive.
We haven't seen much of him, but we'll see as the kick is booted away to start this season. And he will not receive. It will be Reese Mason. He's going to take it up. He's got a hole going up the field past the 40, and he'll be brought down by a wall of St. X defenders past that 43, and that's a great start for this season.
Great start. Now let's see what this offense can do here coming out on the field. Sam Wiles, these guys. And what I think Tom Bolden's going to do here to get his offense comfortable is just to get the running game going, and also look for him to make some quick passes to get some yards after the catch.
Yeah, we'll see what Tom Bolden has to say for this first drive. But it's gonna be a great game,
especially for a guy like Trey Barnett. He didn't have much production last year, but he's gonna be their #1 receiver this year. We'll see what he can do in this first game. Look for him to have huge opportunity here tonight to prove a lot of people wrong.
Yeah, we'll see Sam Wiles come out. They'll have Tyson Davis out right. It looks like the refs got something to say. Some kind of subbing issue. We'll see what it is. Again, we mentioned a lot last year, but unfortunately we can't tell what the refs are saying, so a lot of it is speculation, but we'll do our best to give you the best information. Real quick, we can look at Tom Bolden. You coined the name, so I'll let you use it.
Yeah, the Bolden effect. He's really had a huge effect on really every program he's been to, but it's been huge for Lakota West as well. I mean, you look at the roster, 7 D1 offers, just so much talent across the board that Tom Bolden has built with all these guys, and then a 15-11 win-loss record at Lakota West. I mean, he built this program up from the ground, and now they're one of the best programs here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, and you can't forget about St. X head coach Steve Specht. I mean, he has 4 Ohio championships under his belt, as well as the NFL Don Shula Award for the high school coaches. But we'll see what Sam Wiles can do on this first play as he sets up in a shotgun formation. Defense out in a 3-4-4, and it will go to Braden Johnson, and that's going to be a gain of about 4 or 5, and that's a great play for West. When you have two teams with incredible running backs, you have to just try to keep that ground and pound, keep control of the possession, and keep that time possession high for your team.
And really, that's what I thought they were going to do coming out on this opening drive, is get the running game going early, get some easy, quick completions for their quarterback. Let's see what they do here on the second play.
Wiles in shotgun. Davis out to his right. And it'll be a fake to Braden Johnson. He's got a lane. He's going up the field. Past the 40, to the 30, the 20, the 10. Touchdown, Lakota West on their second play of regulation. And that is an incredible start for this team. I mean, they are not going to be, if they can't stop the run there, there's not much they're going to be able to do all game.
Looks like there's a flag on the field at about the 40-yard line. See what that is. Tom Bolden does not look pleased.
And just as I say that, it's going to get called back. I'm assuming it's going to be something with holding. But still, got the energy high. You heard the noise. So, this place gets loud on plays like that. So we'll see what they can do on this next one.
And that really showed you what Sam Wiles can do with his legs. He's much more than just a throwing quarterback. He actually is more of a rushing quarterback. And he showed it right there as he got out in space. But now Firebirds are going to be behind the chains most likely.
I believe if I heard that correctly, it was holding on Jaden Brogdon, number 15, out there on the left side of the field. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 5. So not a bad play. Still second and manageable. Should be able to get the job done as Brogdon comes off the field and Norman comes on the field. And we'll see 2 running backs out in that behind Sam Wiles there.
Looks like Barnett's coming off the field too.
Having some subbing issues so far.
And it looks like Bolden's going to have to call a timeout. Does not look too pleased here.
But we'll take a break and we'll come back and hopefully we can see that same energy on that touchdown and get it right back. as we come back here, I want to quickly mention this rivalry as it really began about 5 years ago. As in the last 5 matchups, it's been pretty pretty even rivalry between them. St. X taking 3 of them. And it'll be a fumble on that play. West does recover. Recovered by Luca Gilbert, but not what you want to see, those mental errors. If you want to win a big game like this against St. X, you can't make those mental errors.
And now you see the student section of St. X chirping a little bit, kind of getting in their own, they're messing their own selves up right here for West. Just self mistakes right now are killing them, but we'll see what they can do here.
It's 3rd and 3. These are the interesting situations because in a pass-heavy world that we've seen the past few years, you might see a pass, but you might see a run, especially with the strong run, as well as Sam Wiles using his feet to get out. But we'll see what he does. And a shotgun formation again. And there is a flag, and I did see some movement on the line. Not sure on which side. See what the refs say. I'm thinking, yep, it's delay of game on West. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 8, and we'll probably see a pass here.
And still continuing these mental mistakes that West is making here at the start of this game. Really not encouraging to say the least, but, you know, coming out here, we'll see what they can do on this 3rd and long.
Yeah, I mean, only 3rd and 8, or excuse me, 3rd and 11, definitely manageable here for this team to get this first down, but we'll definitely have to see what they'll do. As Wallace lines up in a shotgun formation, takes it, rolls to his right, has blockers, has a guy deep, and that's going to go incomplete, almost nearly intercepted by St. X, but not going to get through, and the punting team will come out.
So what looked like a promising opening series falls short right there, and that's really what St. X wants to get Lakota West in, is those 3rd and long situations, because they know Sam Wiles, he's a great quarterback, but when you put him in those 3rd and long situations where you know he's going to pass it, it's pretty easy to stop for this defense, especially with how good they are.
Yeah, if you're playing the defense in this position and you're playing against these statistics, then you know those 3rd and longs are definitely one of the hardest to get. The punt will go back, and it will be a fair catch at about, I'd say, the 20-yard line or so, and St. X will come out onto the field. And this will be a first look at this defense. It was incredible last year. Definitely some big losses there in the defense, but I think it should be pretty strong still with the linebackers and Finn Mason locking down the corners.
Oh, yeah, they've got great guys all over there in that linebacking core, especially, in the secondary. It's kind of where they fall a little bit shorter, but they still have that edge to them here at Lakota West. And that D-line's really going to have to get a lot of pressure.
We'll see a pistol formation look for St. X here. So the quarterback lines up under the center, and there will be a bit of motion on the line. Be a snap, play action pass, pressure coming in, and Herbstreit is laid out. And that was not a nice hit, but good stop by the Lakota West to get a defensive play there.
And now let's talk about the St. X quarterback, Chase Herbstreit, for a second here, son of Ohio State legend Kirk Herbstreit. And he's just a guy, last year he had a pretty up and down season. He had 10 touchdowns, 8 picks, 1,522 yards through the air. And he's a guy that could, he can make or break this St. X team. You're really going to see him trying to be a lot more aggressive tonight, especially with that run game. You could see a few play-action passes maybe later throughout the game to catch Lakota West off guard.
Daniel Vollmer will take a wildcat formation snap, but he's going to slip and fall down about the line of scrimmage. Interesting formation we see just at the beginning of this game and, first game of the season. But it's interesting to see that trick, wildcat formation so early in the season.
Yeah, you knew St. X was going to want to keep the game on the ground a lot here early, and it's really for both teams. So now you get St. X in this 3rd and long position that you were just in, and you have a really good chance of getting a quick 3 and out here.
So we'll see what this St. X offense can cook up here to get this first down. But, I mean, from what I'm seeing, it's going to be a pretty gritty game between these two guys. Herbstreit lines up in shotgun, takes a snap, rolls to his right, fires. He's got a man, And that is going to be, I believe, Braden Riley on that corner, but it's going to drop 4th down. And incomplete. Thanks to the PA guy for confirming it. Yeah, he does fall out of bounds.
That was great coverage there by Lakota West, forcing them to go on the outside and then forcing the incompletion.
Penalty on the field. Interesting play. They hustled up to the line to punt that ball, but not sure what we'll see here from the referees.
Really good job, though, by Lakota West defense, coming out there, getting a quick stop, and now you're forcing St. X to punt it away early. We'll see what this Firebird offense can do here coming back out on the field.
So there you go with that field position again, as that's going to be another 5 yards back and just better field position for Lakota West, as we'll see Trent Maxim try to see what he can do with this punt. Reese Mason back to receive.
Obviously, with both of these great defenses, the field position is going to be a huge factor. And early on, we're seeing how big of a factor it is.
Snap. Solid punt. A little wobbly in the air. Followed about the 40. Picked up by Reese, and that is a huge play by the St. X team to drop him down. I mean, he lost a couple yards on that than if he had just fair catched it.
Yeah, now let's see this Firebird offense come back out onto the field. These guys coming out here as they look to. I would go down and back to the run game. It worked on the first play. You know, you got an open lane. You got a touchdown on the second play that was called back, but you found some success. It was just that one fumble and then the incompletion that stalled that drive. But I would go back to the ground game here.
Yeah, we'll see what they do. I mean, it's really hard to guard this, as Sam Wiles is a pretty solid passer, but his legs are a big part of his game. So line up in shotgun once again. 2 receivers out right, 1 back to his left, and he will give it to Johnson, and he's going to get wrapped up, and that's going to be a loss of 1. A great play by the St. X defense.
Here we see that gritty St. X defense, you know, a team with a bunch of guys, especially a guy by the name of Braden Riley, who had 4 picks last year and 38 total tackles. He plays corner for St. X, and he's just a great player.
And speaking of those 4, he had 2 of them at their home field against Lakota West a week 1 last year. So definitely has a mind of his own against this team. Sam Wiles will start in a shotgun again. Looking. Has nice hold, and that is nearly intercepted. That is a dangerous pass over the middle. Nearly intercepted by Lucas Bishop. But luckily for Lakota West, they get a gift. 1 more play to get this first down, as it'll bring up 3rd and 10.
Yeah, and I really think for both of these quarterbacks, it comes down to who can be more careful with the ball. You've seen both of them throw some pretty dangerous passes here early on that could have been easily been picks. And you just want to limit the turnovers for both teams, because good field position could win or lose the game for both of these teams.
Watch Luca Gilbert down there on the inside. You know, with that big frame, 6'8" frame, should be able to get over. And pressure comes fast. They'll set up a screen, and that is blown up immediately by Jacob Clapper, and that's going to be a big loss. It gave St. X incredible field position on this punt.
A great play there. They saw that one coming immediately, and there was just nothing West could do there, as they're going to have to get back off the field. So defense really playing amazing here early. We'll have to see what the offense can do here for St. X.
Yeah, we'll see what Joe Marquette can do. If he can boot this one far or get this defense in a good position to get another stop. We're seeing a lot of what we saw last year with, you know, obviously a very low score game last year, and it looks like we're going to get that again this year. And the punt is blocked. And it's going to be picked up by St. X, going the other way, and that's going to be inside the 10. Jacob Clapper, that is an incredible back-to-back plays, getting that tackle for a loss, and now inside the 10. And you want to talk about an energy boost going the opposite way? I mean, you see the crowd out there over at St. X. That's definitely a big game changer. I was about to mention the turnovers, and that's definitely one that's going to bite this team in the back.
I mean, holy cow, what a block right there by the St. Xavier Bombers. I mean, that's a huge play. You talk about momentum in these games. Has always won these games. You know, you go back 2 years ago when West came back down 13-0 at halftime. They had all the momentum in the second half. And then last year, X just had the momentum throughout the game. And then early on here, St. X with a huge pump block and they started off kicking the ball, so they'll get the ball at halftime. That's just a huge break for these Bombers.
But, don't count out this defense. They might hold them to a field goal or even more. I mean, this is an incredible unit, plays as a team, but we'll see what they can do as Herbstreit lines up in shotgun. Motions. He's going to take it himself, and he's going to go right up the middle and right into the touchdown. Touchdown St. X Bombers, and they're going to take a 6-0 lead. That was just an incredible blocking play by those inside guys to get through.
And yeah, I mean, that's just a great start for the Bombers here. What seemed to be a great start for West turns out to be the Bombers leading 6-0, and just a full range of emotions here early on. You thought West went up 7-0 on the second play of the game. Now look forward here 5 minutes in, and St. X is up 6-0.
Yeah, you definitely said it with that full range of emotion as the kick is up, and it is good as St. X will take that 7-0 lead, and we'll see what West can do when we come back. As we come back, we'll see hopefully a new look from this Lakota West offense as Sam Wiles tries to get his team back into the game against a dangerous defense. I mean, you already saw 2 nearly intercepted balls and then the block punt. So, all things considered, we could be in a worse situation. So I like our odds to score on this drive and hopefully get us back in this game.
Well, it really, to me, comes down to, can you get a good gain on first down, and can you limit the penalties? And really for West, it's been the opposite. They haven't been able to limit the penalties, the mental mistakes. That blocked punt, that wasn't really on them. It was more just a great play from St. X.
Mason getting loose again, coming up the field, and he's past the 45. 2 incredible takebacks from him, and that is a really good start. While other things might not be working, we have a great kick returner in Reese Mason.
Yeah, Reese Mason has given us great field position twice here now. That's a huge plus for the Firebirds. As the game continues on, that field position is going to be huge.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely done his job for this team. But now we'll have to just see what the offense can do.
Yeah, and here, Sam Wiles coming off the field. Or no, he's coming onto the field. Excuse me. As the Firebirds here try to get back on the board. Look for a heavy run attack here. They got Luka Gilbert there on the outside.
You're definitely seeing Sam Wiles trying to get his guys involved, and we'll see if it works as he'll take it himself, and that's going to be a solid play. Get about 3 or 4 yards there, and it'll bring up second down.
Well, for this St. X defense, second play of the game, they give up a huge touchdown that gets called back, and ever since then, they have just been spectacular on that side of the ball, the block punt, and just getting huge stops, on the defensive side of the ball. So for the Firebirds, just getting 1 first down would be huge for this team to get the momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, you'll see a 4-3-4 situation for this St. X defense. Wiles in shotgun. Got Johnson to his left. Does a quick pass on the outside, and he'll get close to a first down. If not, I believe that was, trying to see the number, and that be first down. That's Trey Barnett. Like you said, one of those guys who's definitely, senior in high school, definitely hopefully taking up the realm as the number 1 guy on this team.
Yeah, and that play is not going to, be looked at as a big play or anything, but that's really a huge play to get everyone on this team comfortable. That's the first completion of the day for Sam Wiles, or the second, my bad. But it's just a huge play to get him and Barnett connected.
And just like that, we are in St. X territory. It'll be a handoff, quick motion to Trey Barnett again, and that one won't go too far. That's going to bring up second down and about 8 or 9 there. And yeah, man, good drive so far. You had the great kick return and then the quick pass, and bring up second and 10. But, still two tries to get across this first down line, and hopefully can get on this board.
Right here, as you see, Brogdon wind out there. A guy that could definitely make an impact here for the Firebirds.
Yeah, one of those young guys coming onto the team. This rivalry has been incredible as Wiles rolls to his right. He's got a lane. He's going to take it, and he will run out of bounds before being tackled. And that's going to be a solid pickup, and it should bring up third and a few. Yeah, but going back to this rivalry, 3 wins for St. X, 2 for West in the last 5 years. It's definitely been a fight down low between these 2 teams.
Yeah, and that really brings up the conversation about the trench wars between these 2 teams. Really winning it in the trenches. You saw as St. X got the block punt, they ran right through West's line right there, and then they got they've been huge on defense, but then the blocking for the quarterback on the touchdown. So far they've been winning that battle, but we'll see what West can do here.
Johnson lines up behind Wiles. Wiles motions Barella, and a flag is called, and I would assume that'll be, false start on the offense. And that's not what you want to see because that's going to bring up third and long, and you can't have that between. You can't see a run-pass option here on 3rd and 8.
Yeah, and that's really is tough for the Firebirds right there. Just again, the penalties have really been killing them, and it continues to happen right there as they are now in a 3rd and 8 situation. And Sam Wiles and company are probably going to have to pass the ball here. We'll see who they go to, but I would look for either Tyson Davis or Trey Barnett here.
Yeah, we'll see what they can do on that right hash mark. So bring up 3rd and 8. Wiles again in that shotgun formation, the one he likes. He's got 2 wideouts to his left, none to his right. Johnson to his right, and looking. Got a man over the middle, and that's incomplete. Looks like Tyson Davis wanted a flag there, won't get one, and that's going to bring up 4th and long.
See what they do here as the punting unit comes onto the field, and Firebirds will punt away again. What seemed like a promising drive falls just a little bit short, and they'll have to punt it away here. But this is a huge possession here for the defense. You got a guy coming in, number 44, Vincent Goriano, and he's the transfer. He's a huge transfer, huge pickup for the Firebirds on the defensive line. He's a senior. He's going to be great for this team, and really look for him to make a huge impact here on this drive.
Definitely should do some damage down there, down low, and hopefully we can get a better punt than last time, as it will be long and far, and we'll go right into the end zone. So we'll see a touchback at the 20. Not the worst position you can be in, but we're going to have to see a strong stop from Lakota West like they did on that first drive. Looking at, as I mentioned earlier, Daniel Vollmer, he's kind of been a Swiss Army knife on this team, backup punter, backup quarterback, and, of course, the running back here. But he's definitely had a great season last year, and I expect to see good things from him this year.
Definitely expect to see great things from him this year as a guy who can lead the team in the run game as that Swiss Army knife. But, again, for the Bombers, him and Jake Britt going to be 2 guys that Firebirds are definitely going to have to contain.
Yeah, we'll see what St. X can do as they have a quick pass outside to Cameron Taylor, and that's going to bring about 2nd and, I would say, about 5 or 6. And that's a great play to get their comfortable get their quarterback comfortable, Chase Herbstreit. And that's a nice play to get them into 3rd and 2, I believe it's 2nd down. We're seeing 3rd down.
2nd and 3 here for the Firebirds is.
Yeah, I think it's a miscommunication between the line judge and the scoreboard, but I believe it's 2nd and 3. Herbstreit takes the shotgun formation, fakes the pass, has a go route, and he will have the 1st down, and it'll move the chains for this St. X offense.
Yeah, Daniel Vollmer there to pick up the 1st down. As it is.
So far, we're seeing the running backs for St. X definitely winning the battle against our linebackers, but got a lot more time to go to see who will win this battle.
Yeah, a huge stop or a huge gain there for the Bombers, picking up that 1st down and staying on the field here.
Herbstreit will roll to his left, fires, and that's just going to be a little bit high for number 8, on their offense. I believe that is Matthew Horst, their tight end. He was pretty solid last year, and we'll see what he can do this year. But that's just a little high for him as it goes right over his head. But we'll see what they can do on 2nd and 10. And, for the most part, this defense has played pretty well. Haven't given up too many yards. Definitely had their moments, but I think they've done a pretty solid job of playing defense here. But we'll see what they can do on this drive.
Well, yeah, in a matchup as big as this, really, this is just a huge potential drive for the Bombers here. As West looks to get a stop, they force a 3rd and long, and now, these 3rd and longs are really tough for both offenses to convert, and they put themselves in a good position defensively for West.
See the St. X student section getting into it a little, showing some energy. We'll see what West defense has to say on 3rd down. If they can get a stop here on 3rd and 10, should be able to get some good field position for the offense.
And these receivers on St. X, they're also, just like West, some very, inexperienced guys. They haven't seen much time on the field in the past years, and really it's going to be fun to see how they perform here in a huge game like this.
Herbstreit quickly passes it out, and that's going to be possibly a 1st down to, once again, Cameron Taylor, I believe, and that will move the change, and that's just a great throw by Herbstreit, showing his talent. I was about to say before that play, like you said about the inexperienced receiver, it's interesting how these two teams are built incredibly similar, strong run game, solid defense, and a pretty solid quarterback as well. But they definitely rely on their run game, whether it's Sam Wiles running, Brain Johnson running, Daniel Vollmer and Jake Britt on the other team. But they're definitely built very similar. And we'll see Chase Herbstreit take this one on 1st and 10. Deep back, pump fake, looking, rolls to his right, fires, and he's just going to throw that one out of bounds to prevent a sack there. And, while it doesn't always work, you like to see that from a quarterback, make the smart play to just throw it away. Because, especially with these young guys, you see a lot of times they want to, force it downfield. They want to make a good play because they want to help their team win. But to be able to see your quarterback, a young guy, just make the smart move, throw it out when they know there's nothing down there, it's definitely a good thing to see as a head coach.
Yeah, it really is, for a guy like Chase Herbstreit. But you look at the receiving core, Cam Taylor is one of those guys that did get some playing time last year, racked up 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
And we'll see if he goes to him today, as he will hit Benjamin Saboria. And that's going to be a good play by the defense to bring up 3rd and long. And we'll see if they can come up here. Excuse me, that was Jake Britt. Wrong name there.
Well, this is the 3rd and long where the student section of the Firebirds can come into play. And it's going to be a huge play here as this is where the fans got to get loud. They got to cheer on their team and hopefully get a huge stop here.
Yeah, definitely home field advantage affects a lot, as I believe. We'll see what the refs say.
I think they're just either calling a timeout or taking it to the end of the quarter. I think they're calling a timeout.
I'm seeing, clock will run to the 1st quarter, but we'll see you back after the 1st quarter, as this one is, it's going down to be a thriller, 7-0, St. X. As we come back for the second quarter, just want to give some confirmation to anyone wondering. I believe Cam Thomas on Lakota West was puking, so hopefully he's okay. But just real quick, Andrew, what do you think the keys for Lakota West to get back into this game are for the second quarter?
Well, I think it's going to come down to, can you stop the run game and can you produce on the run game on offense? And I really think here on this possession, it's going to come down to, can they stop the run game? St. X really hasn't gotten much done in the passing game. I mean, they had that 1 3rd and long conversion, which, West is going to want to stop those here. But here on this 3rd and long, it's most likely going to be a passing play for the Bombers. You could also look at a screen pass, a quick pass out to the running back. Anything could be coming here for the Bombers. But if you're Lakota West, you just got to have, you got to be concerned with what X is going to do.
And if you see out there, you see Tom Bolden not afraid to get his hands dirty, cleaning up that puke for his guy. But I think we'll take a short break just until teams come back onto the field, but we'll see how West responds. As we come back here, I would assume Thomas had that due to the heat out here. It's definitely a hot August day, as these beginning of football seasons tend to happen. But here we go with Herbstreit on the opposite end of the field, going the opposite way. We'll take this shotgun snap. Looking, pressure coming, gets it out, and that's just going to be a little bit out of bounds for an overthrow. And that'll bring up 4th down as the punt unit will come out onto the field.
Great stop right there for those Firebirds, and you see Vincent Gordiano getting hyped up for this defense as they get a huge stop, and now they get the ball back to the offense. See what they can do here, as they've had opportunities, but penalties have killed them. So we'll see what happens here.
And we'll see, like I mentioned, Daniel Vollmer, backup punter, coming out there, and he's going to boot this one away. But we'll see what he can do. Looked like a little bit of confusion, so nerves might play a part in this punt. But you see Reese Mason back there getting ready to do his thing and get a solid return here. High snap. Blocked, and like I said there, and it's going to get picked up by St. X, but it doesn't matter, as that's going to be West ball in St. X territory, I'd say at about the 34-yard line, and that's already 2 block punts we've seen today. And hopefully that's the boost and the change in momentum that West needs to get back into this game.
I mean, oh my goodness, you talk about a change of momentum right there. That is an absolutely huge play for the Firebirds. Getting that block, they get great field position, and, feels like I just had some deja vu as the same part of the field where the punt was blocked. For the Bombers, they got that punt block. Now West gets the punt block. They have great field position, and now they got to make the most of it here.
And you know what? I'm hoping it's deja vu and we see a touchdown here. But, all we can do is speculate. Wiles gets in that shotgun formation, got 2 backs outside to him. And Gilbert down there getting ready to make a big block. And it will go to Johnson. It'll be a fake, even faked me out, but it will go to Johnson down the field. And it will finally be taken down by Jacob Clapper. What a great play. I mean, he even faked me out. I thought it was a handoff. But he was able to get out to that right side.
Such a great play right there. And it looks like there's a flag on the field at about the 25-yard line. We'll see what that is.
Man, it's like every time I get excited, there's a flag that comes back. But I am thinking that's holding. Yep, and it will be. And that's just another one of those mental errors you just don't want to see.
Yeah, that's just tough right there for the Firebirds. Had 2 great plays, and now you're backed up once again. So we'll have to see what they can do here on 1st and long.
The refs are still trying to figure out exactly. I believe it'll be 1st and 10 again, about the 35-yard line. But I'm hoping this doesn't affect the momentum shift as it did the first time. But we'll see, as Wiles is in shotgun formation once again. 2 receivers out wide, 2 running backs on either side. Gilbert on blocking, and he's going to take it himself. And we'll see if he can get it outside, and he's going to get about 2 yards there. A decent pickup there. Bring up second and about 8.
Sam Wiles didn't seem too happy at the end of the play. It looks like he wanted a face mask. Certainly did seem like there might have been some contact there, but
yeah, you saw him do that flip onto the ground.
Still a gritty run right there. You know, those are the runs that can really shift the energy. I mean, you know, very hyped up after that tough 3-yard run, but it's still a gain.
Yeah, Wiles, looking at him, threw 12 touchdowns last year as well as 6 rushing touchdowns. And, you know, he came in about, I believe, week 3, and hasn't looked back since. And hopefully he doesn't in this game as well. Snap, looking, pressure coming, rolls out, still on his feet, making men miss, still going. And that's going to be a first down. That was a Lamar Jackson-esque play. I don't mean to bring up the NFL, but, I mean, man, I thought he was going to go down at least 3 different times for a sack, but he was just able to get around him.
Well, a great play right there, great play design. He went through his progressions, you know, forced himself out of getting sacked. Looked like he was going to get sacked there for a second, but made the defender miss and got a huge gain out of it, and that's what it's going to come down to tonight.
Yeah, I honestly, multiple times I was about to call a sack, but he was able to get out of it and brought a first down out of it. It'll bring up 1st and 10. Wiles with Johnson to his right. 2 guys out to his left. Snap. And it'll be a fake handoff again, and he's going to get a solid gain, about 5 there, and a flag comes out. I think there was some late contact. I saw some fans flipping their hands, but we'll see what the refs call. Did you see anything?
Didn't see anything in particular, but we'll see what the refs have to say here.
It was definitely a very late flag, so I would assume some late or an unnecessary roughness.
Also, number 94, Ben Berger in on the tackle.
Looks like they're not calling.
Refs are all talking right there in the middle of the field.
Flag on the field.
And it looks like they will move forward. And that's going to put them inside the 10-yard line, right? And it will be. It'll be a personal foul on Zach Hertzman, the senior D lineman, but that's going to bring up a very short first down and goal for this Firebird offense. And, you know, on times like this, you have 3-4 tries to get in, and hopefully they can with this offense. But Wiles in it, shotgun formation, snap, takes it himself again, pushing his way, and he is into the end zone, and I don't see any flags on that play, as that will bring a 7-6 score. That is incredible blocking by the offensive line. Getting him into that end zone, it looked like it was just going to be a gain about 3 or 4, but he was able to bring it in. Excuse me, I put up a flag. I meant the touchdown.
And wow, what great blocking on that play, and then a great play by Sam Wiles to, you know, eventually break through and score that touchdown. Just the grit and energy that it brought him as he was able to score that. But, I mean, wow, what an answer from these Firebirds. Really did feel like deja vu there, as a quarterback run touchdown from about 7 yards out for both teams after getting a blocked punt. And now we're all knotted up at 7 apiece, and we'll see what the Firebird defense can do here.
Yeah, you said it, and we will be back. We'll see how St. X answers to that powerful rushing touchdown by Sam Wiles. As we come back, we will see Kofi Abdubafor kick this one away. And, you know, he's a soccer player, so he should be pretty good. But what a run by Sam Wiles. Push that ball into that end zone.
Really was an amazing run right there. And now we're all knotted up at 7.
We'll see the return. And that is going to get blown up before the 20. And that's a great play by the Lakota West special teams. inside that 20-yard line.
Great hit right there, and that really just the momentum. You talk about the momentum. St. X started with it, and now all the momentum is on the side of the Firebirds, and now you get a stop here. I would put you in a great position before halftime.
And that was Jake Britt, I believe, that took that one out. But we'll see how Chase Herbstreit responds here.
Xavier takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 19-yard line.
Pivotal drive here for the Bombers as Chase Herbstreit comes out. Had a pretty subpar drive last time, but see what they can do here.
Yeah, this sun is definitely playing a factor for both teams. As they'll send a motion guy, Daniel Vollmer, and we'll see a flag there. I would assume false start. Usually when they're called so quick, it's normally a false start. And it will be.
5-yard penalty, 1st down.
And now you have them backed up even more. So a really good position here for the Firebirds.
Man, this is going to be a battle. I mean, I can just tell momentum shift. I mean, the beginning that called back touchdown, and then it's the St. X block punt, and then our block punt to switch that momentum to the other side. It's like back and forth, back and forth. Herbstreit will take it right up the middle, and that is going to get blown up by that D-line.
That D-line with, you know, some of those big guys in there. You talk about Vincent Goriano and all those guys in there. Cam Thomas on the outside. I mean, that defense is just so hard to run through, and now you have a 2nd and long. This is where the crowd can come in a little bit, and, you know, at a really tough position here for Chase Herbstreit.
It'll be 2nd and 14. That last tackle made by Judah King, one of those young guys, didn't get too much playing time last year, but definitely a great player for this defense. Herbstreit in shotgun, takes a snap, looking, and he's got a solid gain of about 5 or 6 there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and manageable. That's going to be caught by Forrest Allers, and that's a pretty solid play for St. X. Getting it to an 8-yard play, and that's a lot more manageable than 14 yards.
Yeah, it really is. But, you know, a great job of absorbing that hit by the receiver. You saw that it was a huge hit on him, and he stayed upright. Didn't gain any yards from it, but still just shows, you know, with the effort that they're playing with out there.
We'll see what St. X does on this 3rd down. But I can't mention the weather enough. I mean, it is scorching here.
It is, and up here in the booth, it's even more hot.
We'll see what Herbstreit does. Snap, rolls out to his left, doesn't see the man, and he almost took him out as he'll throw it out of bounds just in time. I mean, I saw that coming from a mile away. I believe that was Reese Mason flying across the field, definitely making an impact in this game.
And now you bring up a 3 and out for the Firebirds. They get back out on the field on offense, and a huge drive here. If they can punch it in or at least get a field goal here to take the lead, it'd be huge.
We'll see what Trent Maxim does as he will go back for another kick. And it's definitely been, you know, you had the 2 big plays, but, I mean, other than special teams, the defense has just been gnawing at each other and getting their work in. As the punt will go up, and pretty high kick, and Reese Mason will call for the fair catch. Bit of a juggle there, but he pulled it in at about the, I would say, 46-yard line. And we'll see what Lakota West can do with Tom Bolden and company.
And it feels like we haven't been talking enough about how special teams is really the only reason that either of these teams has 7 points so far in this game. It's been the special teams, which have both scored, have been the scores from both teams, really have put them in position to score. And, you know, neither team has really put together a huge drive to get them into the end zone, but both teams have gotten huge blocked punts.
It definitely has not been a more normal game, as it's been, you know, 2 blocked punts already in the first half is incredible. Wiles will take that shotgun snap. Be another fake handoff up the gut, and that is just working every time, as that one's going to be about 4.5, 5 yards there.
Right now, their run game is starting to feast on this St. Xavier defense, and they're starting to not really have much of an answer for it, as they're starting to gain more yards. They're getting more efficient here, and it's really what you wanted to see from the very start.
Yeah, I mean, you said it with that run game. You've been saying it all game. Get the run game going. I wanted to see both passing game get involved a little, but I mean, if it works, it works. If they can run it all game, might as well. So it's going to look like another one, and it will be to Johnson as Johnson tries to get around, and he'd be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
Great tackle on the outside there from the Bombers. But now you're the Firebirds. You're back in this position of a 3rd and kind of long here, about a 3rd and 5. And the Bombers student section getting all hyped up. It's going to be a huge 3rd down call right here.
Yeah, Jacob Clapper, I want to mention him. He's definitely made his name in this game. I mean, he's making the impact all over the field here.
Yeah, but another thing here, you could also look for a run here on 3rd down because they are in that kind of position to go for it on 4th down here at the 40-yard line.
Yeah, a lot of corners out there. 5 set back there. But they will throw it. Wiles looking and gets on his feet, staying alive as he throws it deep. He's got a man. He's got Barnett. Jukes him in. Still going inside the 5. Oh, my goodness. That is what you call a Mahomie type play. I mean, Chris Collinsworth himself, what a play. I mean, I thought he was down again. I mean, he had his body all over him. Number 95 on St. X. I believe that is Zach Hertzman again. I mean, he had him all over him.
I mean, it kind of reminds you of that one play to Deshaun Watson in that playoff game against the Bills where he came up, he got away from the defenders, and he throws an absolute dart. I mean, the crowd reaction right there was just insane, and what a play there.
I mean, it looked like he was just going to throw it out of bounds, and then he just suddenly had Barnett wide open, and he hit him deep as he's having an incredible game. Motions Gilbert, and that's going to be a false start. Just another one of those mental errors, you know. Bolden definitely going to be working on that this week.
Yeah, but still, going back to that throw. Also, how about that for Trey Barnett, a guy who's still trying to get comfortable, trying to gain confidence. He's looked really good tonight. And Sam Wiles, I mean, what a throw. I mean, that was just a dart.
Yeah, it looked like Bolden didn't agree with the call there as he had some words to say with the ref. But we can only speculate, and it'll be 1st and 10 from about the 10-yard line. And so that's not solid, still solid positioning as you're at least in field goal range, and you have 3 to 4 shots to get this one into the end zone. 10 seconds on the play clock as Wiles has no backs in his backfield. 4 guys out wide, and he wants a quick play. Juked out 3 guys, and he takes a big hit at that line. Get 1 yard there.
Yeah, it seems like St. X is starting to understand that Sam Wiles is going to be running the football a lot. It's not just going to be Braden Johnson. It's going to be a mix of both, and really both have carried the run game so far. But you're 8 yards out of the end zone here. If you want to punch it in, you're going to have to probably throw it at some point, and we'll have to see what they can do there.
Yeah, Clapper's definitely put his job in as he's been all over the place, special teams and defense, and he's just racking up those tackles. Bring up 2nd and goal from about the 8-yard line.
We saw the linebacker there, Ben Lehman, on the tackle. Really just didn't want to give up anything too easy for the Firebirds.
Wiles takes a snap. Pressure coming, gets out of it, and he is not going to be able to get out of that one. And that was a bit of a late hit by Clapper, and there's some contact from both sides.
That is what I call a flop there from number 1, is he just kind of fell on the ground. Not sure what that was, but it'll bring up 3rd and long here for the Firebirds, as we'll see if we can see some more Sam Wiles magic here on 3rd and long. Yeah. If not, though, you have a field goal, a pretty manageable field goal that could put you up 10-7.
Yeah, I'm pretty surprised we didn't see any penalty there, because definitely it seemed like a late hit to me, and some contact. And normally in high school sports they're a little stricter on that, but it's going to bring up 3rd and long as Wiles looking, has time, has Johnson, gets out to him, flag on the play, and that might be holding to come back, but for the time being, that is going to be a touchdown for Lakota West. We'll see if the refs have something to change about that. Normally on those plays, I would assume it's holding, and it will be. And you can hear the fans there not happy about that one, but I mean, normally on those plays, it was unfortunate he had him open for a while there. Wasn't able to get it out to him. And that's going to bring up third and even longer, as that's going to be at the 22-yard line.
If you're the Firebirds here, I would just try to maybe run it or just get a quick pass to get yourself a better field goal range, because you don't want to just get nothing out of this possession. You want to get at least a field goal here.
Yeah, I'd imagine Bolden is telling his quarterback, Sam Wiles, just do not throw an interception or fumble it, because then you're going to get no points out of this pretty solid drive. So I would expect to see, like you said, a run or a quick short pass, but we'll see. As pressure comes again, rolling out to his right, still rolling, fires deep into the end zone, and I'm seeing touchdown. What a grab.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Oh my gosh.
That's one of the greatest plays I've ever seen.
Barnett again. He, like you said, he has definitely shown his strength today.
That is
incredible. I can't even, I saw a couple tips, but.
I mean, come on. 3rd and 22, just chucking it up in the end zone. Trey Barnett's down there somewhere.
That is incredible. I mean, they are putting on a show today. Might see more passes after that incredible throw, as Kofi puts up the kick, and it is good. And that'll be a 14-7 lead for Lakota West after the rough start. And they are back in this one for sure, as we will go to break real quick, but we will be back to see if St. X can respond. As we quickly return for this kickoff, what a throw and catch. I mean, Wiles is putting on a clinic here. He ran around he probably ran around like 20 yards there just to get that throw off. And then Barnett, like you said, he's down there somewhere pulling that one down, as we'll see Kofi kick this one away.
I mean, Sam Wiles' mobility is really showing why he's so valuable here. I mean, that is just a crazy play. You don't see any other player in a lot of sports making that play. I mean, just a crazy sprint out and his ability to get it downfield. I mean, 3rd and 22. I mean, that's insane.
Definitely an impressive kick as well. Shout out to the kicker, Kofi Adubafor. I mean, it's not easy kicking that all the way into the end zone for a touchback. And that's going to bring up at the 20-yard line, as we'll see how Herbstreit can respond. But I mean, this defense is playing good, and the momentum is all in West's hand, and it's all up to them to keep it.
Well, you talk about a crowd reaction after that touchdown. I mean, when they confirmed it was a touchdown, it was so loud in here, and I mean, these fans are riled up now. And
yeah, it was a roller coaster of emotions. I thought interception, then I thought incompletion, and then they called touchdown. As they'll flip it to Jake Britt, and he'll get a solid game up top, and he'll get out to that left sideline there for about 5 or 6 yards to bring up 2nd down. But man, what a catch and throw.
I mean, just great stuff right there. You can't teach that. That's instinct. That's all instinct. Rolling out, going through his progressions, and eventually just throwing it up there. And I mean, what a catch from Barnett. But now your defense has to go out here and hold on for your guys. I mean,
it must be frustrating being on that D-line like so many times, thinking you have him wrapped up, and then just being able to get out of it there.
I mean, we thought we were going to see a defensive battle tonight. I don't think it's going to be anything like that right now.
Yeah, definitely putting on a show by these two offenses. Herbstreit gets a short pass to the tight end, Matt Horst, and that, I believe, will bring up 3rd down. No, I'm incorrect. That's 1st down, as they'll move the chain for this offense. Great play for that team. Just trying to get that, swing the momentum just a little bit before, you get a dagger if that's their plan. But you definitely don't want to make any rash decisions, throw deep, and end up with an interception.
I mean, yeah, but you look at the passing game, which, I mean, last year we're already double the total points scored in the entire game last year in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, definitely a great start compared to last year, as that one will get about 9 yards tackled by Finn Mason, of course, Reese Mason's brother. And that's caught by Daniel Vollmer, who's definitely, like I said, Swiss Army knife. He catches, he receives, he backup quarterback, he throws. He does everything for this team.
Yeah, I mean, he's just an incredible player, and we'll see how St. X responds. So far, a really good drive. Maybe trying to catch this defense off guard.
Yeah, definitely one of those guys that a quarterback like Chase Herbstreit loves to have, as he'll snap it and give it to Britt. And Britt almost tackled by his own player there, but it looks like it will be a first down. Definitely a bit of a miscommunication there, as someone on the offensive line almost tackled his own player. But they did get the first round, I believe, and that's going to move the chains for a first down for St. X.
And now these are really important final 2 minutes. You do not want to give up a touchdown here in these final 2 minutes. You want to force a stop here going to halftime, because St. X does get the ball to start the second half. So really big possession right here.
Yeah, but I believe, this defense has been putting on a clinic all game, and that is going to be another strong tackle by number 20, Derek Edwards, showing that, there's all kinds of players on this D-line and linebackers that can get some pressure in, and that's going to be a timeout for St. X, and we'll go to break and see what they can do in this last minute and 38 seconds. We'll come back to see what St. X Bombers and Chase Herbstreit can do on 2nd and 9 here. Hopefully for them, they can get it into West territory, but we'll see, as they have 3 receivers out wide. Herbstreit looking, pressure coming, gets it out to Britt, and that's a short play, but enough to bring up a 3rd and manageable. The clock continues to run, unfortunately for them, with only 2 timeouts left. I'm not sure if they're going for a field goal or a touchdown here. Both would definitely help for their chance at winning this game.
Yeah, but, Tom Bolden coming back out there on the sideline, and this St. X student section getting hyped here, but still a 3rd and 4. Be a huge stop here for the Firebirds.
Yeah, if West can get a chance to score before half, that would be incredible for this team and their chances to win this game as well. Herbstreit lines up in an empty backfield, rolls to his left, gets it out, and that's incomplete, and that will bring up 4th down, and West has a chance to score before half.
That just a great defensive stop right there. A little bit off target on the throw from Herbstreit, but great stop. Now you get the ball back at 52 seconds. You just don't want to turn it over here if you're the Firebirds.
That's got to be frustrating. You had the guy wide open. The play worked, just a bit of an underthrow. As it's going to be, I believe that is Vollmer punting, as I said. Bit of a Swiss Army knife, not to overuse the term, but he will punt this one away and hope it will not get blocked, as it looks like a pretty solid punt. High, and Mason will call for the fair catch, and that's going to get them solid field position with 45 seconds. We'll see if Bolden decides to go to try to score or just run it out and bring this to the second half.
If I'm Bolden here, I'm taking a few shots, and if it doesn't pan out, I'm just taking it to halftime. You don't want to force anything and give up potentially, a turnover, a pick six, anything detrimental to winning this football game. But
I would have definitely imagined Bolden is telling Wiles, do not throw an interception, because that would be detrimental for this team. But Wiles will set up his offense. 22 seconds left on that play clock and 45 on time. empty backfield as you would expect with such little time. They do have timeouts, and he's going to take it himself and cutting up field, and that's going to be a solid play, about 6 or 7. And the clock is going to continue to run. Yeah, and it looks like unless they're going to push something here, it looks like there's a bit of a hurry. But we'll see. As Wiles takes the shotgun snap. Looking, 3-man rush. Has a lane, he's going to take it himself. And he's got a solid play upfield, spinning around. And there is a change of possession. The orange flag comes out. We'll see. It is West ball still, so that could have been catastrophic. And 9 seconds left on the clock. That could have been bad. I mean, like I said, don't turn it over. Sorry, what'd you say?
It could have been really bad, but, you know, your train possession looks like they're just going to take this thing to halftime. Didn't get enough yardage to really satisfy their chances of getting a score there. But taking it into halftime, you're up 7. You feel really good about this if you're West.
We're going to go into halftime, 14-7 ball game for Lakota West. But don't leave yet because we have a heck of a second half for you. So make sure, go to the bathroom, get a snack, whatever you got to do, but make sure you are back in time for this second half. as we return from an incredible half of football between Lakota West Firebirds and the St. X Bombers, 14-7. Andrew, what did you like about that first half of offense and defense between both teams?
Well, on the offensive side of the ball for the Firebirds, I really liked how they pushed the ball down the field, especially that one touchdown catch by Trey Barnett on third and forever. But, I mean, they've been really good about, somehow finding ways to get the ball downfield. Sam Wiles has gone through his progressions. He's been able to run out of that pocket and make insane throws. So he's been really good. You can see his comfort levels are getting better.
Yeah, hopefully.
For the defensive side of the ball, they've really been able to stop the run game, and it's been kind of a bend, don't break defense as they've allowed St. X to get some yardage, but they haven't really allowed them to score much.
I love that bend, don't break, as we'll see Kofi Dubufor kick it off once again, and he's going to boot that one past the end zone. What an incredible kick. But, yeah, we definitely hope to see more of that from the offense in that second half. Of course, Wiles running around, doing everything to get the ball down the field. Hasn't been a pretty game, but like with that block kick and all. But, if it gets the job done, it gets the job done. If we win the game, that's all that really matters. But we will see St. X come onto the field on offense first, and we'll see what the defense can do. Backed up on that 20-yard line, St. X has ways to go.
Here we go here. Look for St. X. I mean, this is a huge possession. Look for them to start on the ground. Yeah, that's going to decide what goes on in this drive.
You actually see Daniel Vollmer in that Wildcat formation like we've seen, backup quarterback, so he still has that arm threat, but I would expect to see a run out of him. And he will take it right up the gut, and that's going to a little bit more than you saw in that breaking that first hit, but he's going to get about 2-3 yards there to bring up second and middle.
All right, and good job there from the Firebirds, limiting the amount of yardage gained on that play. You just want to continue to put St. X in a tough position. I think that they've done a good job of that all game, put them in these kind of third and long situations. But, yeah,
you see Jake Britt lined up deep behind the quarterback, Chase Herbstreit, as he's in that pistol formation. A lot of guys on that line as they'll bring the blitz. Play action, pressure coming, gets it out, and just tipped off the hand of Daniel Vollmer, and that was a dangerous throw. If Cole Munley and I believe Joel Drake was able to get out there and catch that ball, I mean, that would have been a bad day for St. X.
Yeah, just a great defensive pressure right there, forcing Herbstreit to make a tough throw, and they've really put him in a tough situation all game, but now it's a 3rd and 6, and we'll see this crowd noise probably start to increase here on this 3rd and long, and see what the Firebirds can get done here on defense.
Yeah, but quick shout out to our band as they had an incredible performance at halftime. Unfortunately, we cannot show it due to copyright restrictions, but definitely an incredible part of Lakota West culture. And we will see St. X and how they respond on 3rd and 7. Herbstreit looking, pressure coming, gets away, rolling to his left, has a man downfield, and that's going to be incomplete. And I see no flag on the play, so that's going to bring up 4th and 6. And we'll see they could have the punting unit or they could go for it. I think it's a little early, and, yeah, they will punt it away. But, it's getting there. As it's 14-7, they are down. Eventually, they're going to have to start thinking about those 4th downs and whether or not they want to go for it.
Yeah, you'd think right here, if Lakota West scores, they put themselves in a great position to win, but it's going to be a dogfight. St. X, they're going to respond, and, they're going to have to get their get back at some point. But right now, the Firebirds have all the momentum. We'll see what they can do here.
You see St. X student section trying to hype up their team as Maxim punts this one away, and Mason will receive this one, and that is an incredible tackle there because by number 45 on St. X, I believe that would be Trent Maxim, actually the punter, but he was able to get down there fast enough because if he gets past there, I mean, that's going to be another 10, 15 yards.
I mean, yeah, Reese Mason, the speedster himself, I got a burst of energy. It seems like every time he's taken it back, he's gotten to at least the 40-yard line. Just great stuff from him.
Yeah, he's been all over the field, and it's hard to replace Brendan Remy from last year, but he's definitely doing a heck of a job on that return end. As we'll see what Sam Wiles can do here. Both student sections fighting back and forth to see who can help their team out the most. And it's looking like West is winning so far. It's Wiles with both running backs to either side. He'll give it to, fake to Johnson, gets it out to Norman. Norman's cutting upfield. He's got a lane. And he's going to be brought out of bounds, and that's inside the 30, inside St. X territory, and another Lakota West first down.
And there is Kenyon Norman, the running back 2 of the Firebirds, still a guy that can make some great plays out in space, and he saw it right there. He's surely a speedster, and he showed it right there.
It's a great blocking scheme by Lakota West. You know, getting a young guy involved and definitely getting his confidence up, and that's going to help him in the long run. And obviously it will help them as they got like 20, 30 yards on that play. But we'll see what Wiles can do on another first down in St. X territory. Motions Gilbert, and it'll go to Johnson. Norman. Norman making another big play, getting inside that 15-yard line. That's back-to-back plays for the young guy, getting involved in this rushing and passing offense. And Wiles just doing a great leadership role, getting his team involved.
How about Kenyon Norman continuing to have the momentum of the Firebirds? St. X's student section is desperately trying to keep them back in this game, but right now it just looks like Lakota West has all the momentum. They can punch it in here. They have a real good shot at winning this ballgame.
Yeah, they definitely need to make sure they don't do anything drastic. You know, turnover, it's a big thing. It's a big part of this league and this sport because, you know, turnovers, they usually tell who's going to win this game, and they do not want to make any mental errors that might result in a scoring opportunity for St. X. As Wiles looking around, spinning, shaking, getting outside to his right, and he's going to just throw that one away. Looked like, and their flag does come out. I'm not sure if that was holding on the defense. I saw it down there. It looked like it might have been.
Might have been PI, too, on the corner.
Yeah, I saw that down there. I didn't know if they would call it or not. Couldn't tell if it was just physical defense because it's, you know, on that opposite side of the field, but I mean, that's a great throw by Wiles to, draw the flag and get his team in good position. Unfortunately, no, we are incorrect, and that's going to be against, I believe, Lakota West, and that'll push them back a bit. Not sure what the penalty is. Looks like it is against Lakota West.
Tough break there. You know, the penalties have been made the Firebirds struggle a little bit, but you still got to come back and get on to the next play. I'd love to see another Kenyon Norman play right here. He's been carrying the load at the start of this second half.
And knowing Bolden, like I said earlier, they are going to be working on that all season, especially that false start penalty, as it's been a big hit against them. Tight formation. The fake handoff, and Wiles will take it up the gut again. And that'll be a gain about 1 or 2 maybe. And that's going to bring up second and long.
But, you still want to at least get a field goal out of this drive. I mean, a field goal will put you up 10. That would put you in a great position with how your defense has been playing. But still, you want to keep this field position you got. You don't want to have any sacks or potential turnovers that could put you in a bad spot.
I said it earlier, that exact statement, and then that big, huge throw to Trey Barnett in the corner of the end zone. So, I'm not going to say anything this time, but we'll see, what this offense can do. Not nearly drastic yet, as it's still second down, but we'll see because this is one of those big plays, as we'll see what they decide on third down. And they will send it deep, and it's just a bit of an overthrow to, I believe that was Jaden Brogdon, but that's going to bring up third and long. So we'll see if they go the conservative route, maybe do a Sam Wiles play-action pass, but we'll see what they decide.
Yeah, right here, if I'm West, I'm just trying to, stay within field goal range. But I'm also, you've seen these third and long plays that Sam Wiles has been able to draw up. He's definitely still got something left in the tank, and we'll see what he can do here.
St. X student section is not giving up yet. I mean, the energy, I got to respect it, not my home school, but they are definitely bringing the energy, as they do every year. West lines up in a shotgun formation again. Wiles looking, fires, got a man, and Barnett almost was able to pull onto that with one hand, but just out of grasp for him, and I believe that'll bring the kicking unit onto the field. That'll be about a 38-yard field goal, I think. But we'll see. I believe it is Kofi that's going to kick that one away. We'll see if he can knock that through the uprights. He's done a pretty job all year. obviously with one game, but hit his 2 extra points and has been booting it, so we know he has the distance, but we'll see if he has the accuracy. And that is not going to help Adubafor as flag comes onto the field. I would assume to be a false start on that offense, and that's going to push it back to a 41-ish yard field goal.
Still doable with the leg that Kofi's got. He's able to drive it through.
It's impressive watching a kicker like Kofi Adubafor, junior in high school, being able to hit that one through the past the end zone on kickoffs and not even give them a chance to return it.
Be about a 43-yarder here.
Be 42 yards. And another false start, and that is just unfortunate for West. Bolden's pointing at the defense. We'll see.
Disconcerting act on the defense.
Okay, and that is going to give West a break. I mean, for a guy like Adubafor who's never started as kicker, that's got to be some nerves, having to set up to kick it 3 times before actually getting to do it. But hopefully, this time he will be able to kick that one through.
Yeah, now it's back to a more manageable kick, about a 38-yarder here. See what he can do.
St. X a little conservative on that rush attack to block this kick. As the kick is up, and it looks good with room to spare. I mean, that one was a high one for sure. And that is going to give West a 10-point lead. St. X is desperate, getting desperate for points. As with 8:50 on the clock, we will go to break, but we'll see you back after to finish this incredible game. As we return to a strong start for Lakota West, Andrew, what really went wrong so far for St. X?
Well, there's been a lot that has gone wrong on the defensive side of the ball, but on the offensive side of the ball, it's really just been having enough protection for their quarterback, Herbstreit, and the ability to get the run game going. West has put them in a bunch of 3rd and long situations, which Chase Herbstreit and that offense is just not good at converting. So we'll see what they can do here. They need to just get it, some good gains. They don't have to have anything huge. You still have a lot of time left in this game. You're only down 10 points, but you definitely need to get something that'll get you in position to score.
I definitely don't want to call too early, but you got to feel great if you're a Lakota West Firebird, watching your team being up 10 points in just the 3rd quarter against one of your biggest rivals. First game of the season. I mean, it's looking good for the rest of the season to hopefully take the GMC as this is probably one of the biggest competitors you're going to play this year. But I'm not going to call it yet. As Herbstreit lines up in that pistol formation, he'll give it to Jake Britt, and Britt will get about 3 or 4 yards there. And that's going to bring up 2nd and long.
So there you go, a pretty decent, not anything too crazy, but you still get some yards on the run, and that's what you got to do. You got to build a foundation for your drive and just continue to pound it.
Commentating this game, I kind of felt like a sound box because I'm just saying the same 3 names. I'm saying Daniel Vollmer, Chase Herbstreit, and, of course, Jake Britt, and I think the offense is really just surrounded between those 3 guys. It's once again Vollmer getting the flip to the right outside, and there's Grant Bierman showing that Purdue commit strength as he stops him in his tracks and brings him into the ground to bring up 3rd and manageable for St. X Bombers.
Great play there from Bierman, a guy who's one of the leaders of his team. Looks to be an injury on the field. That is not good. for the Firebirds.
Believe that might be Cole Munley, and he pops right up. Yeah, it is Cole Munley. I would assume possibly a cramp. But we'll take a quick break and come back after this quick timeout. We return as a big loss there in Cole Munley, but we'll see what St. X can do on this 3rd and short, as it'll be a play-action pass. Pressure coming. Dylan Skelton almost got to him, and that's a deep ball, incomplete. And that's a great play by the defense, but there is a flag on the play. They may call that a late hit. I did see a little bit. I'm not sure if it would be late. Looked like he was just falling into him, but ref's call, we'll see what he says. And it will be on the defense. And that is rough, because that's going to be a 15-yard penalty.
And those are just the type of plays that can completely shift the momentum.
Yeah, and that's almost to that 50-yard line, and that's definitely, like you said, a momentum shift for Lakota West.
But still, you still have them in their own, 50-yard line. You just got to continue to hold them. You can't give up any big plays here. But there's still a lot of time left in this game.
It has definitely been a battle in the trenches between these two teams. It looks like the West has definitely had the advantage here, with the Wiles touchdown and then some big runs by them. Herbstreit gets a quick play, and it's going to be dropped instantly by Cameron Tyler.
Looked like,
and that's
almost an interception there off the tip, but great coverage there by the Firebirds. Looked like Grant Bierman almost got a hand on that ball, but 2nd and 10 here. You got to stop them, and I think a big part of it is going to be that linebacking core that we've been talking about all game. Grant Bierman, Micah Markley, and Cam Thomas, and those guys are going to have to step up huge here.
Yeah, St. X still very hopeful. You hear the chant, "I believe we will win," but we'll see if it comes true. The stacked D-line up there looking like they're trying to draw some offsides. It's going to be a flake to Brick, and that's a fumble, and that's going to be a loss of yards, and that's going to bring a 3rd and long. And a flag comes out. Back in that corner, I saw some action there.
Continuing to
thrown into the ground.
Mistakes have just made this team plummet under the pressure right now, and on a drive as big as this one, where you think you need to score here probably if you're going to want to stay in this game, that's just not a play that you want.
Not sure who it was, but I definitely saw Hayden Shamsi go flying into the ground.
Looks like it's going to be a flag on the defense.
I believe that's Colin Ogletree.
Colin Ogletree there. And that is just not the play you want, as now St. X gets even better field position. And they've had really good field position off of 2 ill-advised penalties.
Yeah, you called it. That's 30 yards worth for St. X just on one drive. But we'll see if as a trick play to Vollmer and getting around the outside, and that's going to be a great play for Vollmer as he comes out of bounds for about a first down, and pardon me, and that will move the chains for St. X, and just some mental errors. What could have been a stop, and maybe Lakota West ball will bring up a 1st and 10 inside 35-yard line.
As here we go, the ball at looks like it's around the 31-yard line there. Great field position for St. X. You got to think they're at least going to get a field goal out of this one, which hurts if you're the Firebirds.
You said it earlier, bend don't break, and I expect to see that here with the motion of Britt out to the left. Herbstreit, pressure coming. He gets blown up, but he's got a man open, and that's going to be broken up. Great play by Reese Mason once again getting everywhere. Herbstreit was blown up on the play.
I mean, that was just wide open down the middle. You saw it if you're St. X. That's a play you want back. They had a guy wide open, streaking down the middle of the field. Herbstreit didn't have enough time, and he delivered it to the receiver that was covered. And just unfortunate because they had a touchdown in the bag right there. But the Firebird defense stepping up, creating pressure, and forcing an incompletion.
That's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Great stop by Lakota West corners. You know, you said there's a lot of youth there, but they've definitely done their job here tonight as they've held Herbstreit in check pretty much all game. Herbstreit will give it to Britt, and Britt, he flew up the middle, but will fall down for about 4-ish yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd and manageable for St. X. We'll see what they can do here, but definitely a great stop by West. And West has done a good job of forcing those 3rd downs. It's just been, like you said, those mental errors. But hopefully they can come up strong here on a big play.
And now another 3rd and pretty decently long here for the Bombers. A situation they've been in countless times this game, in a situation where West has prevented them from scoring countless times this game.
So Herbstreit will line up in a pistol formation with Britt outside behind him, and he will give it to him. Interesting call on a 3rd and 6, and it looks like it won't pan out, bring up a 4th down. But with it being 7-17, 10-point game, we'll see if they go a little bit passive, take the field goal, or go for the touchdown to get them farther into this game.
You gotta think they went for the run play there on 3rd down because they knew they were going for it on 4th down. And that brings out this crowd who's getting very loud for this defense. They need to stop here. Let's see what they can do.
This is that home field advantage coming up clutch here for this team. I mean, this is where the mental errors for St. X begin with how loud this crowd is getting. I mean, like you said, 3 yards on 3rd down. Hoping for them, they'll get another 3 yards as Herbstreit will take it himself. And it looks like he will be stopped. And that's going to be Lakota West Firebird football going the other way. And that was an incredible stop by the defensive line. They just got in there and blew it up. And, yep, the refs will call it.
What a stop is
a turnover.
They run off the field. Finn Mason hyped up as that is a huge stop. And they know that they just got really a lot closer to winning this game.
A great play by that line. Giordino getting in there and making sure to cause some disruption as we see another injury out on that field. We're going to take a short break, come back to finish this game. Hopefully he's okay. As we return, we have got the number, and that was Cam Thomas that went down, and we're hoping he's okay. It's never good to see injuries on either side of the ball. But we'll see what the offense can do here after the big stop by the defense. And I believe that was Norman cutting up field. That's a great play by him, bring up 2nd and short.
Yeah, and we've seen a lot more of Kenyon Norman here in the second half, showing his ability to get out in space and get some big gains. And Lakota West continuing to fight, up by 10 here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure Bolden is telling that team, just because we're up 10 does not mean we're taking our foot off the gas. We need to win this game, and we need to make sure everyone knows that we were the better team in this game. So Wiles will make a quick throw to Brogdon, and he's just going to run quickly out of bounds for a game about 1 or 2. And that's going to bring up 3rd and short.
Huge 3rd down right here. St. X can get off the field, that would be big for them. But if West can get a 1st down, it would also be huge.
Both student sections continuing to fight for their teams, going back and forth. This time, St. X doing their chant. But we'll see how West student section can respond. As this third down offense been pretty solid all game. But we'll see what they can do up 10 points. Wiles snap. Fakes the handoff. He's going to take it to himself. Cutting up field, and that pretty close. We'll see what they call it. And it will be a first down, and that is an incredible play because moving the chains, chipping down that clock, hoping for them that it'll be enough to win this game by a good margin.
Talk about the day Sam Wiles is having. A great way to start off his senior campaign here. One of the biggest games that he's played in his life. And against such a tough foe in St. X, you know, after the way West season ended last year, after the way they played St. X last year, they wanted to come into this game with a different edge. And you've seen that in their offense. It has just been spectacular tonight.
You can definitely tell they came here with revenge. You know, with that home crowd, they wanted to win for their team. As Wiles, play action, pressure coming, gets it downfield, had a man, and it's going to get overthrown to Barnett.
That looked like a touchdown if that's just a little bit less air on it. I mean, he broke away from him. They wanted a flag on the defense, but I don't think they were going to get it there. But great job of stepping up and making the throw. It just too much air on it.
Whatever it was, Wiles definitely thought he was going to be a little bit deeper than that.
And you talk about how, you know, St. X, their defense dominated last year, and then the year before, West won at home. Seems like the home field advantage really takes, you know, into who wins these matchups from year to year.
We'll bring up 2nd and 10 here after that tough throw there by Wiles, as he will take it again to Barnett, coming up clutch and, you know, getting a little bit of a comeback, and the ball is loose. I believe West recovered it. And yes, it will. So it'll bring up 3rd and about 5. So not a bad play, you know, just getting a little closer, a lot easier to score between 3rd and 10, 3rd and 5.
As a huge third down here, but as the St. Xavier student section is still trying to get them back into it. A stop here, I mean, that would get them into position. We saw 2 years ago, West made a huge comeback down late in the game. They were able to come back in the 4th quarter. St. Xavier still has the possibility of doing that.
Yeah, definitely impressive how well they travel with St. X being so far away, but they have definitely brought the roar of the crowd in enemy territory. As Wiles takes the snap, looking, running around, he's got a field. He's going, cuts up field, as that is a great tackle by St. X's number 29. That's a big tackle by him, because if he breaks through, he's cutting up field by Connor Barswilt. Because like I said, if he gets past that, that's another 5-10 yards for Wiles. Showing his legs once again. I mean, he has just been all around on this offense, doing his job.
Yeah, he's been on one tonight. I mean, he came in with the mentality that he was going to prove a lot of people wrong after the way this game went last year, and he really has done that, as he's just been phenomenal tonight, and I think he's the MVP of this game so far.
Yeah, for sure, especially that throw to Barnett in that corner of the end zone. That was incredible. But Wiles will take it in shotgun again with the play action. He wants it deep, and he will not have it. Looking for Jaden Brogdon there, and it's just a little overthrown out of bounds. And that's going to bring up 2nd and long. Be a tight game here.
I mean, really, what West's offense has been is let Sam Wiles drop back and let him just go through his progressions, you know, try to find who he can get to, and if there's no one there, just run it with his legs. I mean, he's been great on the ground, but he's also been great through the air.
Yeah, definitely, and we'll see what he does here on 2nd and 10. It's interesting how, you know, they started this game doing a lot of run plays, but as their lead has gotten larger and larger, all they've done is thrown it, which is interesting because it's normally the opposite approach, but it looks like it's been working for the most part. Wiles will take it again himself and got back to the line of scrimmage, but not much more there.
I mean, Wiles, he's going to be very tired when he wakes up tomorrow. I mean, just taking a lot of hits today, but he's putting it all out there on the field for his team. You just got to respect it.
It's definitely taking a lot of hits, but, you know, that's a style of play. We saw it a lot last year. I mean, it made me nervous here in the booth just watching him hit after hit, but he just pops right up and he seems to be fine. Play clock at 14. Some confusion in the subbing out for West. It looks like they should be able to get a playoff.
St. Xavier trying to build up some crowd noise here.
It's Wiles looking, 5-man rush, gets it out, and that's just going to be incomplete and bring up the 4th down. And that's a great stop by St. X defense. They're doing their job getting their team back in the game, but now it's going to come down to the offense and special teams. See what they can do.
Yeah, that was a great job getting that stop there. I mean, West was pretty close to being in field goal range and tacking on another 3 points onto the board, but you get the stop, you're staying in this game. There's still a lot of time left, a whole quarter left, and still a chance for you to make a comeback.
So we'll see Joe Marquette back to punt. Hoping we'll see a good one, maybe pinned it inside the 10, but we'll see what he can do. Doesn't get blocked. Pretty solid punt. He will decide to return it, and he's going to cut up field. And that is Alex McClatchy getting upfield and bring him to about the 22, 23 yard. And that's going to bring up St. X football here.
And as much as St. X has played, pretty poorly today, and now West has played great, St. X is not that far away in this game. They're just hanging along. They're hanging in there. They just never go away.
Yeah, definitely a fun matchup between these two every year, with that rivalry beginning back in like 2019. And we'll see what they can do here. We've seen a lot of incredible matchups on both this field and, of course, St. X home field as well. But we'll see how Herbstreit responds on 1st and 10. Snap. Rolls out to his left. He's going to take it himself. Cutting up field with that speed, and that's going to be a 1st down.
Really good run right there by Herbstreit. Haven't seen much of that tonight, but he was able to show off his legs there and get a really big gain.
That's a great, you saw once he got in that open field, it was just gone from there, getting that big 8-yard play.
Great blocking from St. Xavier. That's their identity really is run the ball. I feel like they need to get back to that, getting it to those two guys, Jake Britt and Daniel Vollmer.
1:05 left in the 3rd quarter, 15 on the play clock. Vollmer out left. Lead Britt to his right, and he's going to motion out to the left as well. So empty backfield for Herbstreit. Instantly rolls right, pressure coming, gets it out to Vollmer quick, and he breaks through a tackle. It's a nice play by Vollmer, getting through that first tackle, fighting it, and getting up the field to get a 1st down for his team.
Looked like it was Vincent Gordiano that failed to make the first tackle, but a good job pursuing the running back from the West defense, not allowing him to get even further upfield.
Yeah, this is, unfortunately, they got a 1st down and they are moving down, but not too bad of a drive for West defense so far. You're able to have them run down the clock almost to the 4th quarter. And that's really what you want to see, is just time going down before and having their scoreboard be higher than St. X's. So Herbstreit fires deep, and that's just a bit of an overthrow to Britt right above his head.
He had him on the sideline there. That would have been a huge gain if he was able to complete that, but a good job stopping it there by West, forcing the pressure on Herbstreit and forcing him to deliver it a bit too high.
So now they got an interesting decision with still 25 seconds left in the 3rd. They can run it, probably send it to the 4th, or they can try to throw it and be a little aggressive here. West defense has played pretty solid here so far. Sets up in a 4-3-4. Flips it to Britt. And another, they've just been breaking a lot of tackles, but still a solid play, getting able to bring up the 3rd and long here for Lakota West.
And again, it's that 3rd and long that St. Xavier has been dreading all game, and they continue to get themselves into that 3rd and long. We'll see if they can get themselves out of it here as we head to the 4th quarter.
The 4th quarter we go, and that is obviously the biggest one of the game, and you hear the crowd excited, up 10 points, but we'll see how St. X can continue this drive here in the 4th quarter. as we return with St. X. It's a tradition as Herbstreit rolls to his right. He's got a lot of room to run, and he's going to go down. Still going, staying on his feet, cutting upfield. And he's showing Sam Wiles, I'm here too, as he gets into West territory inside that 25. And what I was about to say before I was interrupted by that incredible play by Herbstreit was it's almost a tradition with St. X's student section taking off their shirts in that fourth quarter, really bringing the energy.
And, you know, just when we thought West might be able to escape here, St. Xavier, they're not going away, and it was about time until they got hit a big play. Chase Herbstreit right there with a huge one. As it looks like we'll be going to a break here.
Another injury for West, and that's not what you want to see. But we'll take a short break and be back after he's all right. Blocking job for St. X. Really did their job on that play, helping Herbstreit run up the field to get that big play and set them up for success on this 1st and 10 play. So a double flip. Vollmer as the quarterback. He's got a man in the end zone, and that looks like it's intercepted. Might have been out of bounds, and they will call it incomplete. Almost an incredible play.
No, incomplete.
Yeah, that will be incomplete. I believe that was Kamani Smith almost grabbing that interception. Unfortunately, he was out of bounds. But definitely still a great play, forcing a 2nd and 10. Even a field goal is great to push Lakota West into a winning position.
You know, the trick play, I like it, but there wasn't really anyone open downfield. I feel like he should have just ran that ball right there. He had a decent amount of space, but I don't know about forcing it downfield. He got kind of lucky that that wasn't the pick.
Yeah, and we'll see what St. X decides to do here. Herbstreit gives it to Britt, and Britt has room to run all the way inside that 10-yard line down to about the 6. But there is a flag on the play. I would assume to be holding, as it normally is on these big plays. But we'll see what the ref call is.
And it is holding as the Bombers will have to go back another 10 yards. And, you know, one big play, one setback. It feels like that's how it's been all night for these Bombers.
A great break for West. You know, could have been terrible for them to get pushed inside that 10-yard line, but they're able to make it a 2nd and 18, which is definitely not easy to convert. So Herbstreit sets up in shotgun, motions Vollmer. Play action pass, pressure coming, gets it out to Britt. Solid blocking job, and that's going to be a decent play for St. X, setting up that 3rd and a little more manageable than 18 yards.
Yeah, pretty good play, pretty good tackle there. You know, obviously still just keeping them, a distance away. It's a bend don't break defense, and it's been that way really all game tonight, and it continues to be that way here.
And I've noticed Steve Specht, St. X head coach, doing his job, and it's interesting how, you know, whenever it's a 2nd and long or a 3rd and long and they're going to go for it on 4th, they tend to get, you know, about half the yards just to make it a little more manageable instead of going for that all or nothing approach.
So here we go, a 3rd and 9, biggest 3rd down of the game right here.
Herbstreit gives it to Britt, and he is going to get wrapped up, and that is going to bring up 4th down. Again, we'll see if they go for the field goal or the touchdown.
Got the feeling running it on 3rd down, that means they're going to go for it on 4th.
Yeah, I would definitely agree.
And it looks like
they are. Does look like they will.
You're going to stay out there. Yep. 4th and 4.
Get ready for the noise. It's coming. The Firebird roar. 4th and 4. Probably the biggest play of the game for either team.
The Red Sea making their presence known right here. Here we go.
It's getting loud here as Herbstreit is in shotgun formation. Defense is ready. Herbstreit looks, and he's going to get wrapped up St. X pushing. It's close. I don't think he got it.
Number 7, Chase Woodstreet on the contact defense. He was tackled by number 20, DJ Edwards.
Another injury out there on the field. I believe that's Giordano.
That's got to hurt for West, one of their top interior defenders.
Officials will call a quick timeout. We'll see what the call is. I assume they're going to decide during this break, but we'll be back momentarily. We'll return and watch the refs measure. Looks like might be short. And it will be. And West takes over. Another big fourth down. No conversion. And that's going to be offense for West, which means another scoring opportunity to increase this lead. Unfortunately, price to pay with losing Vincent Giordano. Big player in this defense.
That is a huge loss right there. He's one of the top defenders in there. He's a huge, huge player. I mean, he's just a big focal point of that defense, but we'll see. Hopefully he can get better as the Firebirds look to take over here up by 10, and with 9 minutes left to go, they have the game in their hands right here.
Yeah, this is definitely a crucial drive. If they score a field goal, it's harder for St. X to win, of course, but definitely still has a solid chance of getting back in this game. But if a touchdown is going to make it a 3-possession game, and that's not easy to come back from. Upfield, Johnson tripped up, and that was a great game-saving tackle by Karan Seymour. That's definitely a huge tackle for them, because if not, he's cutting upfield, and that's going to be another 10, 15 yards.
Huge run there, though, by BJ Braden Johnson. Haven't seen much of him throughout the game, on the ground, or gaining a lot of yards, but he got a huge gain right there, and he definitely gets them up to the 30-yard line. Definitely
coming up when it matters most. I think it's just been hard because they know how good he is, and they're focusing down on him, and that's why Wiles and Trey Barnett, as I say that, have been able to explode, and he'll get about 1-2 yards there. Another catch on the receiving stats, Trey Barnett, who's having a huge game.
Yeah, and as the clock continues to wind down, the game becomes more clear for Lakota West. Just run out this clock. You got 8 minutes left, and you win a huge game to start off your season.
It's been an incredible game, and hoping for an incredible season from these Firebirds. They normally put on a show, and they definitely have not failed to do so tonight. So we'll see wideouts out wide. Gilbert in that blocking position, as he often is. Johnson faked me out there. I thought Johnson had the ball, but I believe that was Sam Wiles with another take. And that's going to bring up 3rd and long. We'll expect to see a pass here. We'll see what they decide.
Pretty good position for St. X on defense, but still a tough conversion here. The Firebirds see what they can do, though.
Yeah, that second quarter was everything, as that's where those 2 touchdowns came. And since then, it has not been easy for either team to score, as it's definitely been a defensive battle ever since.
St. X trying to get their fans hyped up with 7 minutes to go. Still, a decent amount of time, as there's a flag quickly.
Hate to see this on on West, as that's going to bring back another 5 yards and bring up 3rd and 12. Just a lot different than a 3rd and 7.
prior to the snap. Encroachment. Number 88 of the offense lined up in the neutral zone. Third down.
Looks like encroachment on the offense. Number 88, Luca Gilbert.
Bolden is not happy about that. That's just another mental error, and that's going to be 3rd and 12.
Yeah, and you know,
West.
you might be looking at the score right now with how much time's left, and you might be thinking to yourself, oh, they've got in the bag. Oh, trust me. You know, that we've seen crazier things. This is definitely a position where you don't want to give the St. X the ball right back. They can definitely score very quickly.
I would not be shocked to see some Sam Wiles magic here. I would imagine there might be a blitz.
Looks like some miscommunication on defense for St. X.
We'll see if West can take advantage. As Sam Wiles cutting up field, and that's just going to be about 1 or 2 yards to bring up a 4th and 10.
But still, just so much time running off the clock. I mean, you only got 6.5 minutes now left for St. X. So, you know, they got to score quickly here on this drive.
Definitely some frustration from the offense there. It really just stalled out quickly after the big run by BJ.
Right here, you also, special teams is a huge part. It's led to 2 touchdowns in this game. You don't want to give them another chance at getting great field position off a blocked punt.
Marquette needs to get this punt out quick, as it is nearly blocked. Lakota West is lucky for that.
I mean, he had a pretty good look at that block right there. Lucky to get that one out, but we'll take it, as with 5:54 remaining, Firebirds look to get another stop.
So Alex McClatchy will take the fair catch, and that's going to put them at about the 30-yard line, I believe. Excuse me, 32, I believe. But we're going to have to, for St. X's sake, they're going to have to get some offense going here if they want to get back in this game. As down 10, like you said, 6 minutes left. That's not easy to come back from, especially in an environment, away environment. Red Sea has definitely come out today. A lot of people out there that I've seen, at least.
And just an ill-advised throw right there. Looked like the receiver didn't see the ball, and it's going to be incomplete. But the blackout has really showed up tonight here at Lakota West. The student section has came out, supported very well. Both student sections have really showed out tonight in what has been a really good game.
And we'll see what St. X does here on 2nd and 10 after that incompletion. These Friday night lights are not easy to play under for anyone, let alone these high school guys.
2nd down and 10.
So Herb Street sets up in that shotgun position. Defense coming out. Blitz came fast. Skelton, and that's a big tackle. That is an incredible loss of yards.
With just a huge tackle in space, as you hear the student section before the play chanting, "Why so quiet?" as they seem to know that this one, it's in their hands right now.
That's going to bring up 3rd and 13. You saw the vision by Bierman. He read that like a book. Sprinted that left side of the field and took him out in time to get a loss of yards.
Another one of those 3rd and longs is where the Red Sea really comes out and really shows up here in these big moments. As 5 minutes left to go, it's make or break here on this 3rd down right here, down by 2 possessions in the 4th quarter.
Got to give love to the trenches, as both sides' offensive lines has done an incredible job, as we'll see a flag here, I believe. Be false
like
start.
Be on the Bombers there, yep.
And that is just not what you want to see.
As we see Vincent Gordiano, looks like he's doing some jogs out there. He looks to be back and healthy. Maybe on the sideline we'll see him shake his head. So
that's a great sign to see. And St. X will call a timeout. So we'll take a short break, and then we'll see what St. X decides to do as the clock winds down and time is running out for these St. X Bombers. So we were just given news by the refs that the timeout was called before that play. Therefore, it won't be 3rd and 18, but it will be 3rd and 13, which is still a ways to go for St. X. I mean, you'd expect with 5 minutes on the clock, this has to be 4-down territory, right? So we'll see if Speck goes with his strategy of getting a short play to set up a 4th and manageable or going for that all or nothing. Herbstreit is in that shotgun, takes the snap, 4-man rush, looking, getting away from the pressure, rolls right. He's got a man deep, and it is broken up on the field by Reese Mason once again, giving his impact as the rest of the players hyped him up on there.
How about this secondary tonight from Lakota West? You know, a lot of, uncertainty about how the secondary would play with a lot of new starters coming in, but they played amazing tonight.
Incredible play by them.
And it looks like St. X is going to bring on the punting unit. I mean, I don't know about that decision. You still got 5 minutes left. You think you got to probably go for it here. Not enough time left in a 2-score game.
Obviously, there's not much you can do on a 4th and 13 as it's so far, especially so deep in your own territory. But it's hard to see a punt, but it will go up. Mason will call the fair catch, and they will get it about the 33-yard line. So what do you expect to see from West? Do they keep that aggressive nature of throwing it downfield, throwing those short plays, or will they run the ball just to run out the clock?
I think if you're West, you definitely got to stay on the ground here. Maybe give some quarterback draws to Sam Wiles, who has been great on the ground. Or you could just give it to the running backs because you want to conserve the health of Sam Wiles moving forward throughout the season. An injury to him would be detrimental to the rest of the season, especially with all the hits he's taken on the ground.
For sure, and I would love to see getting Kenyon Norman involved. I just think, getting that young guy that confidence to give him the idea that, in this last 5 minutes of the game, we are leaning on you, and we need you to come up big. And I think it would be great for him in the rest of his career here at Lakota West. But Wiles will start it in shotgun. Johnson to his right. He'll give it to Johnson, cutting up field, and he's going to get stuffed at the line, and that's going to bring up about 2nd and 10.
And St. X, these last few possessions that Lakota West has had, they've been pretty stout at stopping, the run game and the offense overall of Lakota West. But it's just been that one huge play that Sam Wiles had on that long 3rd and goal that really just, that's the one play that changed the entire trajectory of this game, really.
It's interesting. We saw that block kick at the beginning, and it was like, man, that is a momentum change. But then another block kick, like just about 5 minutes later, and that was all they needed to get that momentum back on their side. As Wiles will fake it and flag on the play, stiff arm, and he'll get upfield to bring about 3rd and 5, but there is a flag on the play. We'll see what the rest call. It was pretty early, but they did not whistle the play dead, so we'll see what play it is. Could be an offsides, something of the sort.
Looks like a holding on the offense there.
That's going to be on Christian O'Neill, and that's going to be 5 yards back after that solid play. 10 yards back.
Still, though, Lakota West, you're this close to it would be a huge win here. You just got to hang on to the football and, play your game. There's not too much time left in this ball game. You just got to hang on to the football, continue to, be a little bit aggressive, but you want to stay on the ground, make sure that clock keeps running down, and make sure you leave here with a win.
It's a lot more of a question if we'll see a pass or a run, especially with that field position of 2nd and 20. But they will give it to Johnson. He'll get up the field for about 3-4 yards. And that's going to bring up 3rd down.
And a 3rd and pretty long here for the Firebirds. See what they do here. I would imagine they probably just run it here as, there's still not too much time left. You don't want to give St. Xavier any time of a chance to make a comeback, but we'll see what goes on.
Pretty big play here for both sides. St. X looking for a stop. West looking to close out this game a little bit faster. Tight formation.
We approach 3 minutes here. St. Xavier still hanging on to those 2 timeouts they have left.
Wiles will take it himself, and great play by that St. X defense.
We get a timeout here from St. X finally. 2:59, they'll get the ball back. with a chance to make a comeback.
We will go back to break as we'll see how St. X responds after this timeout and punt on offense and see if they can bring their team back into this game against a closing win for Lakota West here tonight. As we come back for this punt by Joe Marquette, we will see what St. X and Steve Specht have to do and have to say for this next drive, as probably going to be one of their last chances to get back in this game with only 2 minutes and 59 seconds left on the clock.
Still time though, if you can get it back to you. You know, you only have one timeout, so that is definitely not a plus, but if you can score quickly, you'll have a chance.
So Marquette nearly blocked, will go out of bounds at about the 43, and that's going to be decent field position thanks to that defense. And that should bring them into this game. 2:52 on the clock. You're counting down the seconds for Lakota West, just trying to hold back a comeback.
We've seen some crazy comebacks in this rivalry before, so, you know, nothing's out of question just yet. But Lakota West, their defense hasn't allowed a touchdown since the first quarter. They've been pretty stout on that side of the ball.
Yeah, I'd assume you're alluding to comeback 2 years ago. Big game. Incredible game for Lakota West.
Just such a huge win, and right now this would also be a very huge win.
Yeah, I mean, to be able to start the season off with a dub against one of the best teams in this region. You know, the GCL teams, they are no easy team to beat, and that would just be an incredible start for the season, especially with a game against Hamilton next week. As Herbstreit will take the snap. Blitz coming. Blocked by Bierman, and that's an incredible play by Bierman. He just keeps coming back. Was able to get his hands up and get a block, and man, that just disrupted that drive right off the start.
What a play by the Purdue commit Bryant Bierman. Just an incredible play right there, and that's just textbook defense, getting your hands up in the air and getting a huge stop.
I mean, that is, for a quarterback, for have a drive start like that cannot be easy to come back from, but he'll have to if he wants to bring his team back in this game on 2nd and 10. Lucky for them, it did stop the clock. West will bring the blitz. He's rolling out, chased by the defense, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 10. Again, stopping that clock, but 3rd and 10 is nothing easy to come back from.
Yeah, and it kind of gives a similar feeling to last year in opposite ways. As, you know, West went on the road last year. Their offense couldn't get really anything going throughout the entire game, and they ended up losing by 10 points. Right now, St. X this year, offense can't really get anything going throughout the majority of the game, and they're down 10 points in the 4th quarter.
You saw that pressure from Cam Thomas showing that he seems to be okay, which is great news if you're a Lakota West fan. But we'll see on 3rd and 10. You would imagine it's got to be 4th down territory now with 2:42 left on the clock. But Herbstreit will flip it to Britt. He's going to cut up field, but there's a flag, and
looks like it's going to be holding.
Yeah, I mean, you saw that idea again of getting half the yards to make 4th down a little more manageable. But with that flag, that might be the dagger in the coffin here. The officials will call timeout, so we'll take a short break and come back to see what the call is. But it's been an incredible game, and we'll see if Lakota West can close it out. So there was an injury on the field on top of that penalty. Of course, the penalty was a 10-yard holding, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 20, which is definitely a hard task for St. X offense, as well as an injury to number 75, Grant Abercrombie. Hopefully he's all right on St. X. But here we go on 3rd and 20. Got 2 plays left to get your team back in this game, and we'll see how Chase Herbstreit can respond to the pressure.
Yeah, this is really the game right here. They don't get it on one of these 2 downs, they're probably going to lose this game on the road here. So let's see what the Firebirds can do. A huge 3rd down.
And this is where the crowd comes in huge, as you can hear the noise coming from the fans and the players as Herbstreit steps up in the top pocket, rolls to his right. He's going to take it himself, has a lane, and that is a huge play, getting that 1st down on 3rd and 20. And that's a collapse by the Lakota West defense. Fortunate for them, the clock continues to run, but I believe that will be a timeout for St. X.
Looks like there's another injury for West. I mean, just not great stuff right there. It's tough for the Firebirds.
So we'll take a short break for this timeout, and we'll be back for the last 2 minutes and 7 seconds of the game. So as we return, it was an injury timeout, not a timeout for St. X, but that was Cole Mundy again showing his grit, staying in the game, pushing through to get this win for West. As they'll flip it to Britt again, and he's cutting up field. You can see that prevent defense from West, just trying to keep the ball in front of them, run out the clock.
Yeah, it really is working pretty well. I mean, St. X, they're just running out of time right now. Looks like a timeout has been called. But 1:44 remaining. I mean, they're just running out of time. They got to score quickly.
So for this St. X offense, what do you expect to see from them, for this next drive? And then I would assume they'd have to go for that onside kick.
Well, just obviously getting the ball in the end zone. I mean, they've had a lot of big run plays, but look for them to try to go through the air. I mean, you can't really waste too much time here. You don't have enough time. Realistically, if West gets the ball back on offense, they're going to win this game. They could just kneel it out. So St. Xavier's going to have to find a way to get it in the end zone quickly and then get the onside kick.
I mean, you've seen this struggle all game, really, against these Lakota West corners that they have shown out for this team. I mean, they've been clamping up on the defense, and so you see, they're doing these trick plays, these laterals, just trying to get something upfield, these pitches back. But I think it's really only working to St. X's plan, because I think they're just, trying to run out that clock and just keep the ball in front of them, as most prevent defenses do. And if St. X wants to get back in this game, they're going to have to, throw it downfield and take some shots, because I don't see any other way where they have enough time to do anything else. So both teams will come back out onto this field. One of the last drives of this game.
Again, just taking shots and, just not enough time really to run it. You got to take a shot here and hope for an onside kick to go your way.
Yeah, I mean, that's really all you can ask for if you're St. X. As Herbstreit will take the snap, and we'll see him have to throw it downfield as the pressure gets to him. He's going to take it again, and cutting up field. He thought he stayed in bounds, but definitely got out of bounds there on that right sideline. Yeah, but that will move the chains, bring them up to a 1st down. Pretty good play getting out of bounds with still 1:37. But with only one timeout, there's only so much you can do.
Yeah, but just a really good run there. I mean, he's been running great on the ground. It's just there's too much there's not enough time left to continue to run it on the ground. You got to get something going through the air.
He's definitely been showing Wiles, I can run too, as both have had quite the games today running on the ground. As Herbstreit again takes it back, pressure coming, he gets blown up, and Reese Mason on the defense, they call out a flag. The fans don't like it, and I don't think I do either. It looked to me like he pretty much was on him the whole way. Pretty solid defense. I didn't see any contact, but again, it's up to what the refs call.
It's just a tough call, tough break there for West. But, if St. X does punch this into the end zone, you got to be ready for special teams. It's a huge play. You can't allow them to get the onside kick. Then you put yourselves in, a chance of losing the game, which would just not be a good taste in your mouth after how well you've played tonight.
Yeah, and I believe that's going to be half the distance to the goal due to it being in the end zone. But it's going to bring up a 1st and 10 for St. X. So, tough break for Lakota West, but you've said it all game, bend don't break, and you can hear the fans pounding on these stands. As Herbstreit fires into the end zone, and it's broken up on the defense by Reese Mason. Getting his get back on that play. Struggled on that last one, getting that pass interference call, but he was able to break up that one, bring up 2nd and 10 with just 1:25 left on the clock.
Yeah, and just continuing to get incompletions, get stops. It's the bend don't break defense. It's been working all game, and it's continuing to work there.
Yeah, and they were able to get down the field pretty well, but as you get close to that end zone, it gets a lot harder to score with a lot less field to score on. The players are a little more clumped together with less area to run, but the fans are showing out in this Red Sea as Herbstreit sets up in that shotgun formation. All the pressure, game on the line, looking, steps up, going to take it himself, cutting up field, and the defense make a stop, and that is going to keep the clock running. Solid run. I believe that'll be 3rd down and about 2.
They're hustling the line
inside
here.
the 5.
Quickly.
Clock winding down, 1:05 on the clock.
And a timeout has been called
by Lakota West. An interesting decision. Bolden didn't like something out there, but we're going to take a short break and be back to see if St. X is able to punch this one in. So here we go on this 3rd and 2. Andrew, what are you seeing coming out of this offense? Will it be a play action? What are we going to see?
I think they're just going to try to punch this in with the run game. Obviously, you're this close to the goal line. We'll see what they do here.
I'd imagine a run as well, as they've done it all game. And it's worked on this drive, and he will run it straight up the gut. We'll see if he gets it in. Refs calling. And he did not get it. Refs call him down, and that is not going to be great for St. X, as the clock is going to continue to wind down. But I believe
they called timeout there.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you have to do in that situation.
Both play had a really good shot at getting in, but a great stand from Lakota West.
So we'll see how St. X decides to score this one, or if Lakota West will make the stand from the 1-yard line. So we come back here as it's 1st and 1. They did give them the first down, but not the touchdown, and that's what counts, as they had to burn another timeout. And all they're going to be able to do is get that onside kick, assuming they're able to score here. We'll see what they can do on 1st and 1. I would imagine, as ambitious as St. X is, I would imagine they will go up the gut.
There's ambitious right there.
And that is a touchdown for St. X. And the run game's worked all drive, and it works there. But with only 53 seconds, we'll see what they can do as their kick team comes out onto the field.
That was very ambitious indeed. The dive for the touchdown to put them back within a chance to score. But, you know, they're still down by 3, or going to be down by 3 with only 53 seconds remaining. It's just not enough time unless they get the onside kick.
So Drew Kovacs will boot this one away. And, you know, never underestimate a point attempt. And it's blocked. It is blocked. And as I say that, and that is going to be a rough blow to St. X.
Yeah, what a block right there. I mean,
another injury down on that field. But, man, a block there, that changes everything, as they can no longer tie it up with a field goal. We'll take a short break to see this last drive. I would expect an onside kick, but time will only tell. So we come back to the most important play of the game. Down 4 points, you have to get the onside kick, or this one is essentially over. Cam Thomas on that injury, we're hoping he's okay. That's the second time we've had to watch him walk off. And you saw on that extra point, it was a bit of a wobble hold by St. X. But here we go, as this is what's going to decide it. Everyone knows what's going to happen here.
you just got to make sure you hold firm possession of the ball here, and just, you know, huge play as West will call timeout.
And that's a smart thing to do in this situation. You have, you know, 2 more timeouts. You might as well use one. You know, get the other team a little on edge, a little bit more nervous. That's all you really need. So we'll take a quick break away to see if St. X can get this onside kick. So here we go. As I said, biggest play of the game. St. X needs a miracle here late in the 4th quarter. And we'll see if they have a miracle left in the bag. As St. X, their crowd is getting excited. Still have hope for their team. Student sections have been a factor all game, but here we go. The kick will be by number 82, Tommy Wall. The whistle blows, and all St. X can do is hope. It's a low kick, and it's caught by West, and that should seal the game. And Lakota West, you know, after the rough game last year, they get their revenge.
And that is just a huge play right there to seal the game. And all they need is a kneel to take it and win it. And they get their revenge. What a play by the Firebirds. And what a game here tonight between 2 of the best teams in the city of Cincinnati, as we just witnessed a great game.
And all I got to say is I am not going to be very surprised if we see these two teams, late in November going against each other in the playoffs. Hopefully win state for either teams. So all I got to say is the season for them is both not over. They are both incredible teams.
What a great win here, though, tonight by the Firebirds. Finding a way to get the job done, down early 7-0. It wasn't looking great, but they persevered. They kept their heads up, and they got the job done here at home. Huge win for Lakota West.
One more kneel down, and this game is over. And, man, a roller coaster this game. Of course, the punt blocks for both teams. They did their number for both teams, and West just was able to come back on top. So Wiles will kneel it, and that should do it. We thank you all for coming out here and tuning into this game. We'll see you again next week against Hamilton. Don't forget to tune in to Oak Hills versus Lakota West, soccer Thursday, and then, of course, Friday, the game versus Hamilton. But we thank you all for coming, and we'll see you next time. 17 points for Lakota West, 10 for St. X. That is your final score.